Hi, welcome to Precarious Pixels. I'm Tim. With me as always is Bob.
Hi everyone.
Hey everybody. We're back again this week to give you our reviews and what have yous and stuff we've been playing and stuff we've been watching. So this week, it's been kind of a weird week for us. I'm sure it's been a weird week for you too. What's been going on. But let's forget about all that. Talk about something you saw in the theaters.
I bumped the mic.
Yeah.
I did.
I sure did bump that mic.
I saw The Invisible Man, which also had a lot of loud noises in it.
Yes.
And you couldn't see it, so to you guys it was also invisible.
Okay.
It's an accidental segue.
Okay.
So I saw The Invisible Man, which stars Miss Peggy Olson, I believe is her name.
Oh, I was gonna say the bridesmaid, or not the bridesmaid.
Yep.
I was the
Kristen
handmaid's.
Wiig.
The Handmaid's Tale. Was she wearing a red dress the whole time and a bonnet?
She was not. But what's The Handmaid's Tale again about? Like what goes on in it?
A dystopian future where women are forced into kind of sex slavery.
Okay. Well, I mean.
So exactly what this movie was?
Yep, it's the same movie.
Wow.
No, it's she plays a woman who at the very beginning of the movie is trying to leave her boyfriend's house.
Right. And now is she invisible?
She is not.
Okay.
But she's not a man, so it's the Invisible Man.
Well, then they should, maybe they should make a sequel, Invisible Woman.
They could.
They could.
They could do whatever they want to.
That's
it's
true.
2020, Tim.
That's right.
Stop making your weird standards on me.
And 2020 means perfect vision, but apparently not to the Invisible Man because you can see right through him.
I guess you can. I would argue that you can't.
Oh, you can't see through him? He is not invisible?
No, I mean, I'm just saying you can't see through him.
Then how is he invisible?
Because maybe he's not there.
Oh.
Which is, the point of this movie is for at least half of the movie, you're not sure if Peggy Olson, Elizabeth Moss, is it? Elizabeth Moss. Her character, Cecilia.
Yes.
Is crazy or not.
Which I like. If you know, like, you're not sure if your main character is, like, just a crazy person or just like, there is an invisible man.
And it's done, for the most part, with no hints that she could be, that she wouldn't be. There's not much that happens that couldn't have been 100% imagined by her. That's great. Until the very end, when you start to see what's actually happening, and I don't want to spoil what happens.
Okay.
But until the end, you don't know. Well, that's not fair. Till about 2/3 of the way through the movie.
Okay.
But anyway, she's leaving her boyfriend. He's abusive, maybe.
Right.
You find that out later, and controlling. And the first 10 minutes is just this escape scene where she is terrified, and it's so tense.
Right.
Done without words. All of the sounds are. I think this movie was made to be extra loud.
Makes sense.
Just to mess with your head as it's happening. And it's so well done.
Right.
That's the one thing I'll give Blumhouse: consistent tension in most of their movies. I haven't seen Truth or Dare, but I heard it's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, they do put out quite a few movies, and some are hit and some are miss. It's
But
just like
for
any
the most
studio.
part, they're hits.
A lot of times they call it pretty well.
This weekend, I think they have 2 movies out, because they also have that Fantasy Island, which I haven't seen.
Oh yeah, the one that's not really, which I always thought was kind of that's a nice little TV show kind of thing. Apparently, this one it's like the monkey's paw of Fantasy Island.
You can't call it Monkey's Paw because that's a different production.
That's a different production, but I mean in the short story version of A Monkey's Paw.
Yeah.
Where it's you made a wish and here's your wish fulfilled, but guess what? It's they're
awful
dead
in a different way.
Yeah, you're going to hell or something weird. Who knows?
Yeah. But yes, it's solid. Like all the acting is great. There's some. I think she's the only actress that I know, or actor and actress in the movie that I recognized from anything. I was looking up another person earlier, and I have no idea.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I don't think they show the boyfriend's face.
Oh, really?
At all.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting choice.
Until later on there's like pictures.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
Until later in the movie when that stuff happens, you see the pictures and things like that. They don't show him. They don't show his face. All out of perspective shots. There's like a quick cut where he punches the window of the car she's escaping in.
Right. But you can make out his face clearly.
You can't really. It's so fast, and it's
probably intentional.
Yeah, but he's the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe.
But
yeah, it's really cool. A lot of messed up stuff, which is the other staple I think of Blumhouse, is that they'll go next level with it for horror movies. Like I don't think they've done that in horror movies since the 70s.
Okay.
Where they've actually gone edgy with it. Like they tried to make a comeback in the 90s.
Right.
With things like when Scream was making fun of it, other companies did things like Urban Legends, but none of the true horror. Like none of it was like anything other than somebody chasing you with a knife or demons.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. This is, for some reason, the Blumhouse ones always feel more rooted in reality.
Okay.
Despite the fact that there's maybe supernatural stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like they're real situations. Like you can see this happening.
And almost, at least like a battered woman, in the psychology behind that it's kind of like a real issue and a real thing, and how she would react to it would be like, oh, this guy he's gonna get me kind of thing. Like and maybe that kind of like turns her, mind a little bit to like, he's here and he's always here kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which would make perfect sense. I mean, and that's probably what everybody says. It's like he's not there. It's all in your head and blah, blah, blah.
Well, apparently in the movie, one of the things she says is that he was so abusive that he controlled every aspect of her life.
Right.
And at the end, he was even, this is the thing she says.
Right.
He was even controlling her thoughts.
Oh, see, yeah.
So that's another hint that she might be not quite all there.
Right, that she might be crazy.
So good.
Yeah.
And yeah. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's an R-rated horror movie, but it's not, aside from violence.
Right.
Like it's just because they're willing to go to that violent route.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think there's anything super bad in language. But.
Yeah, and a lot of practical effects. I think the director had really specified. He was like, I want to make this as practical as we can.
Oh yeah.
And really have a lot of physical things. I don't want like CG people like flying around or whatever. Is like I want like as real as we can possibly get with it.
And most of it's like not real high concept in terms of the
right.
action. It's simple things.
Yeah, but I think maybe he was just citing like in Hollow Man. I think they used a lot more CG kind of stuff in it, and I think he wanted to make sure that his thing was much more of a practical effect kind of stuff, which is good. I like that they do that, and then just kind of like maybe enhance a few parts with CG stuff.
I feel like you shouldn't have watched this thing.
Why?
I don't know. Don't watch the behind the scenes before you see the movie.
I know.
Because I don't know if that twist is going to be ruined for you. Like what happens? Maybe.
I don't know. But I'd still want to go see it. I mean, I enjoy these type of movies anyways. So, I mean, if it's a good movie, it shouldn't matter like if I've seen stuff behind the scenes or not, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it'll still have stuff that will just that's good
Right. No, definitely gonna see it.
Speaking of invisible things
Okay.
that people don't understand,
Oh, okay.
let's call it a town.
Oh, a town. Let's not call it a town. Um, I think what Bob is referring to is uh, well, recently I watched a series that's been out on Netflix called I'm Not Okay With This. It's based off a very popular graphic novel. It's also the same guy who wrote another series on, or they adapted one of his books on Netflix. Um, Funny enough, shot near my hometown in the town of Brownsville, which is very weird. But
That's the home of the Blair Witch, right? It used to be called Blair.
yes,
Brownsville, formerly known as Blair, I
no,
believe.
it's always been called Brownsville. It's a brown town. No, but yeah, so it's the concept is basically a little bit like a coming of age story. Um, it's kind of a mix of John Hughes kind of movies and also, uh, these like angsty teenagers and these odd like teenage characters, and mixed with some interesting family drama and also a little bit of like Stephen King Carrie kind of things to it. Um, it's very good. Like I was very like this first season amazing. I hope they do a second season. I don't want to get too much into spoilers. Um, but the first episode is literally the first 10 seconds of the show is her running down the street in a dress covered in blood, and that doesn't pay off till the very end of the series, which is amazing. I have to say, like, as a end to a series, or at least, well, this season maybe, if they do another one, we'll see. Uh, very good. It definitely builds to like a perfect like crescendo of like a moment and stuff. So I hope they do another season of it. It's definitely worth watching. Really short episodes, so you could probably breeze through it in like a couple of days. But amazing show. I definitely recommend it. I might even watch it again. It was so good.
Nice, and it has people from It.
Yeah,
You were saying in it.
yeah. It has the girl who plays Bev from It. Not old Bev, but young Bev.
Yeah.
It'd be very weird if Jessica Chastain was playing a teenager
That would be weird.
in high school. And
But
also
I could
has
deal with a 21 Jump Street situation.
oh she goes back. The recruiter's like, look, you look like you're young enough to play a teenager. We need you to go back. This is like a never been kissed scenario.
Yeah.
Just like Drew Barrymore doesn't look like a teenager.
That's right.
Although all the other people in that movie were not teenagers either. Like I remember like watching that and being like, none of these people are high school people. They're all like 20 somethings.
The fact that you've seen that movie.
I saw the movie in the
says
theater.
So much.
I saw it in the theater.
I worked in the theater. It was out when it was at.
I didn't go to your theater. I went to the theater by me.
Okay.
Near Pittsburgh.
Got
near
it.
Brownsville.
Burkittsville, formerly known as Blair.
Yes. But I forgot where I was going. But yeah, never been kissed.
Yeah, we were talking about how Jessica Chastain did a great job in
Never
the
been
show.
kissed.
No, in
Yes, I know, and I'm not okay with this.
Yeah.
And
John Ritter
and
plays the other kid, right?
John Ritter.
Yeah, he was in the Tim Curry verse.
Oh, that's right, he was. Mm-hmm. No, wait, who was he? Oh,
he was the comedian. No, the architect.
Was he?
Believe so.
I don't think he was. Was he? I don't know. Now I'm like I don't remember, and I just saw that recently.
Well,
the comedian was the guy from
Harry Nelson.
Yeah, the guy from Night Court.
Harry Anderson.
Harry Anderson. I think
Judge
it's
Harry Anderson.
Yeah.
I think is he related to Louis Anderson?
I don't know. I don't think so.
They could be brothers.
They could be.
Both have stupid mustaches.
They do? I didn't know Louis Anderson had a mustache.
Yeah. Harry Anderson, also not alive anymore.
Did he pass away? Oh, that's sad.
A few years ago.
Oh.
After the 30 Rock episode, I think they did.
Oh, okay.
Where they essentially had Night Court.
Because why wouldn't
Did you ever see that one?
No, I don't think I saw that episode.
Kenneth the Page, like, for some reason is fascinated with Night Court, and they end up having a bunch of the cast come back for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Does Bull come back?
I don't know. I don't remember. He might. It would make sense that he would.
He's a good actor. That poor guy never got, like, I don't know, like, either...
It's tough, you know.
Because he played, if you ever... Batman the Animated Series, he was Two-Face. Did an amazing job.
I think sometimes it holds you back, like when you have such an identifying look.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a shame because you know, acting is all about becoming someone else. That's why I never understood why they would want somebody who looks just like the character. They just need to fit the character for the role. Right. Things like, you know, as you were saying earlier, you were looking at the new Batman stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing I won't understand is how Colin Farrell's not going to wear a fat suit.
Well, maybe this is the beginning, because if anybody watches Gotham, that skinny guy.
Gotham is not canon.
Oh, Gotham is, because let me tell you, by the end of Gotham, that dude is pretty much looks like he stepped off the set of the Adam West, Meredith Burgess, like, Penguin. Like, he has, like, monocle, top hat, like, the whole 9 yards. Like, the Riddler looks like the Riddler. Like, they go full on, like,
he wears
Batman.
a pink mask and a green onesie.
He wears the green top hat with, like, the question and, like, the green suit. And then Penguin, I think, has, like, the purple top hat with, like, the umbrella, and, like, I'm pretty sure he's wearing a fat suit too. But at the beginning, skinny dude. And I think maybe those were like, hey, people like that Gotham show.
No, they didn't.
They did. 5 seasons of it? 6 seasons? I forget how many seasons, but, like, it went for a while.
How did that go for a while?
I don't know.
Firefly was canceled within the same season.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. Thanks, Fox.
I know. You never know what's going to go with Fox. You know what else Fox didn't pick up? Lock and Key.
It's true.
Yep. Could have had Nick Stahl and Miranda Otto would have been the mom, and Nick Stahl would have been Uncle Duncan. Would have been a very, very different kind of show.
I'm trying to think if Nick Stahl has been relevant since 2006.
Sure.
What happened to him?
I don't know.
He's alright, I guess.
Maybe he just doesn't want to act it. Maybe he's like, I'm going to chill out for a while.
I think some actors are just so specifically from an era, and they can't escape that.
Maybe.
You know, like Molly Ringwald was 80s.
Yeah, well, she's kind of come back a little bit now. But like in a different way.
She hasn't. Let's be honest.
Oh, wow.
Is she headlining a movie? What was the movie she headlined?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't think of a movie she headlined, but she's been in movies.
I'm just saying, like, some actors can make it past, and actresses, they make it past. But some are just that era, right? And directors, same thing. Okay. There's some 80s directors who just made, like, stupid comedies or, like, stupid action movies. And they'll never be able to continue that because times changed.
Right.
Nick Stahl is a great example of that.
Okay.
He was late 90s counterculture man. Think about it.
I never really thought of him as counterculture man.
Really?
I don't know. He was in what was that? He was in Carnival.
Yeah, he was also in Disturbing Behavior.
Right. He was also in what's that? Sin City.
Yeah, but barely. And Terminator. Terminator 3.
Yeah. Judgment Day.
No, that was
Salvation.
2. No. Rise of the Machines.
Rise of the Machines.
Terminator 3, Rise of the Lycans.
Yes.
That would have been a great crossover.
That's when they had the female Terminator.
Yeah, that's when they replaced Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale?
Yeah. Do you not remember that?
No.
I made the Underworld.
Oh,
reference.
like when they replace her with like that.
The girl that looks like her, Rona Mitra.
I don't know.
I believe her name's Rona Mitra from Doomsday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. Man, that movie.
And they put out the marketing without any names on it. Like they just had Underworld, Rise of the Lycans, and they tried to make her look as much like Kate Beckinsale as possible.
Well, those movies have particular style, anyways.
Yeah, but you have a different actress. At least pretend that you care about this actress's feelings.
But then, didn't they bring back Kate Beckinsale?
For the fourth one, because her husband directed them.
Oh, okay.
It was like
But ex-husband now, right?
Did they divorce?
I think so.
Okay, well, it's just like Mila Jovovich and Paul W.S. Anderson.
Right.
She continues to have a job because he continues to have a job. That's every Resident Evil movie.
True.
And now Monster Hunter.
Okay.
He's attempting to make that a thing.
Which...
If you're not familiar with Monster Hunter, this is the entire concept around the game. Have you ever played it or seen it?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, so essentially you see a giant monster and you stab it as many times as you shoot arrows into things in Horizon Zero Dawn. But at least you get parts for cool gear based on that monster, right? And there's less of a plot that's pretentious.
Okay.
You're literally just, your job is to go hunt monsters.
Hence the name, Monster Hunter.
Right, and it's not...
And isn't it just like you kill things and then you can make armor and weapons out of it?
Out of them, and it looks like them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's also talking cats that are chefs. Or they're your partners. And those are called palicos.
Is this like a Square game?
No, it's Capcom.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not an RPG. It's not a typical RPG.
Okay.
I would say hunting game might even have its own category out of this, like monster hunting game. Because there's other games like it, but not many.
Okay. This
is very specific in terms of co-op. You go out, you do a few hunts, and then you just go chill, whatever. You're done. Okay. Like an MMO, like The Division.
Okay.
You do raids. It's made to be played with friends.
Right. That was like the main thing. You go out with your hunting party. Yeah. You can hunt monsters or whatever.
Yeah, and you do like emotes and things like that. It's just Destiny, but with monsters. And it's before those, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting to me, actually, now that I think about it, that this might be the first form of that action MMO on consoles.
On consoles. But I was going to say on PCs, it's been around forever. Like, WoW was, I think, way before.
But it's different.
Or even...
I would call WoW different.
Or even like...
maybe Diablo?
Diablo or EverQuest or like those type of games.
I don't count EverQuest. See...
Why don't you count EverQuest?
Because I would count it as like a real-time combat as an action.
Well, EverQuest has real-time combat, doesn't it?
You hit buttons for skills.
Oh, okay.
I think it's different. Like, I consider it different if you're doing the combat all yourself as opposed to hitting the buttons for the skills and just waiting on a cooldown. Because with a Monster Hunter, or with a Destiny, or with even Division, like, you're doing the actions.
Right.
Like, you're in charge of them. Diablo, same thing. Like, you're in charge of the actions. There's cooldowns on abilities.
Right.
But you're still doing the rest of it. Although Diablo is kind of fringe. But yeah, like Monster Hunter is its own genre.
You think Diablo's fringe? I think that's pretty mainstream.
No, I mean it's fringe in terms of doing the combat because you're holding a button to constantly attack.
Right. Okay.
Versus something like Monster Hunter where you're pressing the button and timing it, you're timing your dodges and all this other stuff.
Right.
Which is to me like that's always the combat that I found more interesting. Is being in charge of it as opposed to waiting on a cooldown.
Right, okay.
Turn-based.
Or, yeah, turn-based.
But it's not... It's weird because Warcraft isn't quite turn-based.
No.
It's... Anyway, specific genres within genres, like subgenres and categories. Like, I could talk about why things are different all day. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I get you. But yeah, so he's trying to make Monster Hunter.
He's making it, apparently.
Okay.
And he continues to have a job.
And honestly, I hope that's successful. Cause...
Do you know what's going to happen? She's going to bounce off a glass and kick a monster in the face.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah. Or like use a weapon made out of another monster and, chop its head off or something. I don't know.
Mila Jovovich is going to kick a monster in the face. She's going to do a jump kick to a monster's face. Because that's what she does in every one of his movies. And there'll be slowdown and possibly... I know we might be ahead of the new curve with this.
Okay.
But I have a feeling he'll film it in 3D.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and put it out in theaters. Using this...
Instantly makes that movie better.
Can we talk about the fact that he got the cameras from Avatar for one of the Resident Evils?
Really?
That was the thing. He got the cameras from Avatar to film Resident Evil 5, the movie. Whatever the fifth one was called.
Well, I hate to break it to him, but his 3D was not on the same level.
No, that one looked good.
I'm saying it looked good, but the stuff they did in addition to making it 3D to give it like real depth, and that's what made that so much better.
Yeah, I like Ferngully too.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm excited for the sequels to come out in 2016 and 2017, respective.
Yes. I knew that was never gonna. I was like, "There's no way he's gonna tell them no. We need to go back and do it again." Because that's what happened with the first one too. Like he made them redo. I think it was like a trailer came out, and he was like, "No, it looks all wrong," and made them go back and do it again to put more depth in.
Well, it worked for Sonic.
Yes. Oh, I actually got it like that monstrosity, that weird fingernaily. I was just like, who thought this looked like Sonic? Who was like, oh, you know what? That's Sonic. Of course, that's Sonic. Who was like, did nobody from like the Sonic camp go, you know what? It just looks like a nightmare creature.
I heard theories that was originally put out there to drive up publicity for when the movie eventually came out, and that it was a planned delay.
I can't see them wanting to do that.
Well, imagine it. How many more people saw new Sonic than would you have ever gone to see a Sonic the Hedgehog movie? Now, granted, you probably didn't see this one either based on this conversation, but how many people saw it based on the fact that they changed it and they wanted to see what it actually ended up looking like?
Well, you could have seen that from the trailers. No, that is like massive amounts of money they did not want to waste. Like, that is like going back and
but what if they didn't
redoing
waste it?
scene.
What if they didn't waste it? What if they just... Bear with me.
Okay.
Just wait.
Okay.
What if they were still working on the original CG, right? Because it wasn't done. And they had their live action stuff shot.
Mm-hmm.
And they
said...
Well,
of course they had that.
Right. And they said, hey guys, second or, probably 15th CGI studio that works on this.
Right.
We want you to put Sonic in this trailer and only these scenes, but make him look not good. Make him look how you wouldn't want Sonic to look, but still identifiable as a blue hedgehog thing. And then, while they're doing that, they have the real studio making Sonic with the actual CG. So all they wasted the money on was the trailer.
Okay.
And that drives up publicity, which pays for all that nonsense and more. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. But that is, one, terribly risky.
It's risky, but it worked.
Because that would be... Okay, so then you're wasting money on one front. So, let's say your theory is right and they did that.
Mm-hmm. That
means you're betting on... first trailer Sonic, people not liking.
No, you don't even need to bet on it. You can create that.
What? You're saying like they have...
Say you have 100 people that work for you.
Okay,
right?
And then you say, oh, this doesn't look like my Sonic.
Share how bad this looks on your Facebook, guys.
Right.
And then send a link to the YouTube trailer so you can make comments.
Right.
And then it became national news.
True. But also... you don't want. I see. I don't think like that would. The reason I was kind of like turned away from this movie was like I don't like weird Nightmare Sonic. That is brand damaging because now that there will always be that associated with you, and people will make fun of you for it, and ultimately like,
but will
look
they?
what you almost
you
did
were the
to your
nice
character.
guys who went back and fixed it.
It's still not the same.
You
It's
think?
still damage. That does damage to your brand. You would not do that.
Okay.
Nobody wanted to redo that CG, but they had to.
I'm not saying they redid it. I'm saying they never did it.
I know what you're trying to say, but that is either if they had that much predictability, then their movies should never fail, ever. But their movies do fail sometimes.
But I don't know who made this one.
It was in a Sony.
Was it? It was Sega.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know who.
I think it was a Sony. Pretty sure it was a Sony movie. It's too bad we don't have something we could always look this up on. Nothing here that could possibly. We could look up who made Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie.
We could fill time by talking about the stuff of nightmares that is James Marsden.
Yes, James Marsden. How dare you?
He just hangs out with CG characters all day.
He does.
I saw a funny picture of him with like 4 different CG characters as friends.
Okay.
And it was like hilarious. Because he's in a ton of kids movies.
Yeah.
He was in Hop, right? That was him.
That was him.
And there was another thing. I don't remember. And then Sonic, of course. But anyway, if I was going to plan it out, and that was a good way to gain publicity, because kids are going to see it no matter what. Like, they still have that money coming in. I think this was to get adult audiences.
I don't necessarily know that.
Just saying. I'm just saying, because you have an entire generation that was raised to believe that the only successful movies based on video games were ones where Mila Jovovich kicked zombies in the head.
Yeah. So, Paramount, I believe, is Paramount that is...
Do you imagine?
I mean, it is the Team Sega, of course, but also Paramount.
Which is, I think that's owned by Sony.
Is it?
I believe so.
Okay.
I can't imagine Paramount delaying a major movie
Oh, I can.
for 7 months, 8 months. 7 months.
Maybe not. Maybe it is Sony. I don't know. Either way, the Sonic team, Sega, they would not allow that to go forward.
Just saying.
I don't think so. Okay. I
Okay.
mean, you might be right. There could be some dark web conspiracy stuff here.
Instead, it opened up on Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
Rampantly successful. More money than Detective Pikachu, which opened around the same time last year. It was a May release. But this was going to open summer?
Was it a summer movie?
I believe it was originally like July or August.
Oh, okay.
Against whatever superhero things were in theaters at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need extra competition. There was nothing for kids' Valentine's Day. This was the perfect window for a kids' movie.
Okay.
That's my theory on it,
All right.
and I agree. I agree with the internet on this one. I think it was planned.
Okay.
I think they knew right away how bad it looked.
I mean, yeah.
And there's another rumor that goes along with that because there's something after the credits. Can you pause this for a second? Because I want you to look at something. Did you see the thing that was after the credits?
In
Sonic.
No. I haven't seen Sonic.
I haven't either, but they show something after the credits.
Is it Tails?
Mm-hmm.
Does Tails show up?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And so is that Sonic 2?
That'll be whatever the next thing is.
Yeah. Which was the second Sonic.
Sonic and Tails, I would guess.
Yeah. Wasn't the second Sonic movie Tails?
What
Or
game?
game, I mean.
It was Sonic 2.
Sonic 2 was but it had Tails in it, right?
Mhm.
That's when they started adding, I think they added him first, and then then it was like a bunch of like, I think there was Knuckles.
Oh, well, you'll never be able to play Sonic 3 again unless you have a Genesis.
Why?
Because it's the one that can't be remade.
Why not?
Because Michael Jackson made music for it.
Really?
Yeah.
For Sonic?
For Sonic 3. So you,
Really?
if you look anywhere where there's ports of Sonic games,
yeah,
never Sonic 3.
Well, can they just take out the music?
They don't.
Why?
I don't know. They just won't do it.
That's weird.
So you can get Sonic, Sonic 2, Sonic 3D, which is not Sonic 3.
Not Sonic 3.
Sonic Spinball, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, like all of the classic ones.
Right.
But you cannot get Sonic 3 on anything because Michael Jackson made music, and whoever owns his library now, whatever.
Oh, okay. So it's like, yeah, okay. I can see that being an issue. Like they're like, yeah, you.
But even in the like late '90s, like when they were putting Sega CD Classic collections and Sega Genesis Classic collections on consoles, like other consoles. So after Dreamcast died,
right,
they had Sonic's Ultimate Sega Genesis Collection on 360 and PS3, and I think they did something similar on original Xbox.
Okay.
Cannot get that particular game on anything. Even the Genesis Mini that they put out, they won't put it on there because they'd have to pay royalties, and they just won't do it.
See, that doesn't make sense. Then just take out the music.
They don't do it.
Or replace it with replace it with the music from Sonic 2.
Nobody's
gonna care.
It's so bad with music licensing.
Yeah.
In games right now, I would never hire anybody outside talent.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
But Grand Theft Auto 4 is a great example. They still patch Grand Theft Auto 4 on 360 and PS3.
Mm-hmm.
And remove licensed music from the radio stations.
Oh wow!
Because it's still like there's still active connections because they don't own the license to that song anymore.
Right.
So there's still changes happening to games that came out 14, 13 years ago, whatever.
Right, because I think I'm not sure if it was it San Andreas was like the first one to really go deep on the.
No,
was it
3?
I'm trying to think. 3 was Vegas, right?
No, 3 was Liberty City. 3 was the first three-dimensional one that wasn't top down.
Right.
But even 1 and 2 had music.
Yeah.
But then the biggest one, they put out soundtracks for Vice City and San Andreas. Vice City had this massive box set soundtrack of all 80s music.
Yeah, I remember that. And like amazingly, like San Andreas is like the 90s, and it's like all like crazy like 90s music and grunge and Pearl Jam and
hip hop. They had like 3 hip hop stations or 2.
Yeah, like it's amazing. I think like the like Tupac and I think Biggie too, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
NWA was on the soundtrack,
right?
And now like with GTA 5, modern music, they have a classic rock station hosted. You know how they had like Laz, I think that's his name, Laszlo,
yeah.
The classic rock station is hosted by Kenny Loggins,
like actual
Kenny Loggins, and he talks about each song before he plays it.
Wow,
like an actual DJ. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I think even on I definitely remember it on San Andreas, like the radio DJs sounded like real radio DJs, and I think some of them were. Like, they actually do, like, that stuff. But, I mean, it wasn't like it was a live thing. That was just, like, they recorded a bunch of, like, things they said and then just, like, replayed it.
But now it's so crazy that they can just edit art like that, and that's insane.
That is kind of crazy. But then again, it's like, I know that they don't want to repay that money or whatever.
But it's not like they're still selling that game on a regular basis. But so I don't get that.
Well, I think it's like they have to, if it sells a copy, like they have to pay out the royalties to that person for selling like an online version.
But Take-Two has all the money in the world. Just give them the money.
Yeah.
Right? Just pay them that $5 or whatever.
Yeah.
That they're gonna get for 100 copies sold.
Right. Because I think even with movies, like that's part of their deal. I think.
Well, can you imagine if Netflix was going back and removing songs from Breakfast Club if they were airing that? Just think about it.
Right. But I think their deal is different because it's like they're paying whatever movie company, and then that move or whoever owns that movie. So let's say like it was like I'm trying to think of like something that's really good. Like if it was Top Gun, so if they pay for Top Gun from I think who put that out, Paramount.
Top Gun was Paramount.
Yeah, and then was it Kenny Loggins?
Yeah,
would get a check from Paramount
for Danger Zone.
For Danger Zone. Danger Zone.
Yeah, but that's I think that's actually on that soundtrack too, on the GTA 5 one.
Is it?
He definitely has like 2 songs on there, but that's one of them. I believe.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, you got Kenny Loggins.
Of course.
But no, I'm just saying, like, I don't think they should be able to change it. Like, I don't. There need to be limits.
You're right.
Right. On how we can alter media in this form, like art like this. To me, I don't think they should be able to change art in this particular way. I feel that it removes something from it.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I agree that that's like it takes it away from what it was originally like, what the original purpose of the game.
The vision is changing.
You're right.
And it's not. I understand changing the vision like for the artists themselves. Like,
right.
If they want to go back and they want to change that vision and make a GTA 4 Ultimate Edition or Director's Cut or whatever. But changing it in a different way, like for money.
That's the whole
gross,
thing.
And I hate it.
Yeah. But then again, you got to remember, it's a lot of these guys will, they change a lot of stuff for money.
They do, but that's something from a while ago, right? Think about what we're going to be looking at in 10 years, now that all of the games are constantly online.
Right.
There's movies that come out that are just streamed. What was it that was streamed on Netflix and then they ended up censoring it? Do you remember this? They changed something about it?
That there's a couple of things they've done it on. One thing I know they definitely did it on was Glow. Like the first season of Glow, maybe it was the second season.
HBO did it too. It's the other one.
Yeah, but there's a part, because I remember it very clearly, because I think I watched it when it first came out. In the first season of Glow, this is spoilers if you haven't seen the first season of Glow. There's a part where no, it was definitely second season. I'm trying to think now. Was that first season or second season? I think it was the second season. The second season of Glow, there's a part where they're doing a match and one character does like cocaine or something for like the first time, or like too much cocaine, or basically there's a point where the match goes wrong and the one character is out of it and breaks one character's leg and lets out and this is a credit to Alison Brie, that is it. Yeah, Alison Brie. The scream that she puts out is so blood-curdling and haunting that I still think about it. Like, it was so visceral. She is, like, amazing just doing what she, she goes for it. And it sounds like, when you just hear, like, this snap, like, this, and this break isn't like anything like you hear, like, bones crunch. It's just, like, this little, like just like this tick, but you know that it's just like her leg is like just like broken, and the scream she lets out it's like, it sounds like somebody broke her leg in real life. When I rewatched the series when they were releasing, I think like the third or fourth season, I think it's the third season, that part has been changed. They I think it was too many people were disturbed by the scream, which I think is a shame because it was amazing. Like, it was dead on to like somebody breaking their leg. They changed it to be like it cuts off like quicker. Like the leg break happens and she gives like the beginnings of the scream, and then it's like they cut off.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. And I don't like that. I don't like when they change something like that. It just seems like you're changing somebody's like performance, which I thought was amazing. I mean, it's silly to do stuff like that.
Agreed.
So what was the one on HBO then?
The Game of Thrones thing. They didn't censor anything major, but they took out the Starbucks cups.
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that now. And it is silly that they did that.
But they were there.
They were there. They didn't really. Honestly, I think it would have been fun to like leave it in later because it's going to live on the internet forever, anyways.
Yeah.
People have still shots from it.
But that's like, whatever. That's a mistake. But the fact that they can do that,
yeah,
it's very scary.
I know. It's even when like Steven Spielberg went to E.T. and he took
out
the
like flashlights.
He took out the guns and put flashlights.
They had 2 flashlights. The guys running around. They did. I went to see the movie in theaters because it was like the anniversary.
Oh, and they re-released it.
They re-released it. I believe it's probably like 15 years ago now.
Right.
But yeah, I remember going to the theaters and seeing it, and I was just like, this is really dumb. This is really dumb that they would change this.
I know.
But
it was around that whole time that like George Lucas was changing the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, but stuff. Like E.T., man.
I don't know why he did that.
Are kids that? I guess at that point, like there was a real. No. I don't know. It's peaks and valleys with the guns and in kids movies thing.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, strange. Kids know guns are bad.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't think there's a kid out there who thinks, I'm going to go hang out with a gun.
Or that police officers, carry guns.
Like, if they don't know that, that's...
Right.
Then there's something wrong with that kid.
Yeah. So, speaking of things that... I actually don't know how to segue into this properly, but... So enough about my thing.
Awful mistakes.
I'm not okay with this. Go watch it. It's very good. Before they change it. I'm
not okay with those changes.
Yes. Actually, you should watch it before they change it because they could change something in this and that would really ruin it. But you've been playing, or actually you finished Horizon Zero Dawn.
I did. I kept
all the way through.
I did. I got the Platinum Trophy, which is a thing you get in PlayStation. Xbox had achievements on 360.
Right.
And then PlayStation said to themselves, we need trophies. So you get like little awards for doing things. And a lot of the games are, on both platforms, so it's literally a copy-paste. They're just, you get a trophy for this versus you get an achievement for this.
Right.
Well, this one, I got the Platinum, which means I got all of the trophies.
Right.
For the core game of Horizon Zero Dawn. And that's very important because something they do with trophies that they don't seem to do with achievements, to my knowledge, they might. Well, they do a little bit of it. Is they also add in other categories.
Okay.
So Horizon Zero Dawn has the game achievement or trophy list. Then it has the new game plus trophy list, which I will never get.
Okay.
And then they had the DLC quests trophy list.
Okay.
And the DLC feats trophy list.
Okay.
Which, whatever. They just wanted to add more trophies to this game. But I got the Platinum for the core game. Every single thing done. And I did about half the DLC. And then I said, no. No more. I can't take any more. And that, actually, to be honest, I did that before I finished the last trophy in the game, finished the last mission. Because I wanted to see if it told me anything more important about the game. It really doesn't.
Oh, okay.
But now we can talk about the plot.
All right. So, spoilers for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Spoilers for a 3-year-old game.
That's right.
That's how long it took me to actually finish it. At least that's what it felt like this last couple weeks.
3 years?
Yes.
3 years of getting the same plants over and over again?
Oh, dude.
So let's catch everybody up on the story so far.
Okay.
You're a garbage person.
You are trash.
Everybody hates you.
Everybody hates you.
They think that you are a stupid person. Your mom was stupid.
Well, you're an outcast.
Your tribe was stupid.
You don't have a mom.
Oh, that's right.
You don't have a mom or a dad. You're an orphan, which makes you trash.
That's right.
And therefore an outcast.
That's right.
But they
even
don't,
if you help people.
Even if you help people, you're trash until a little bit later in the game.
Right.
When something happens, which we'll come to.
Okay.
So, Aloy, her whole thing is she wants to figure out who her mother is. So she does this trial, right? We were at that. We talked about that. Right. And then she goes to see. I had it confused. They're not called the matriarchs, but they might be called the matriarchs. The women that lead the town.
Okay.
The All-Mother is the door. I was confused when I called them the All-Mothers.
Oh, okay.
The All-Mother is the goddess that is the door, the voice of the door that they worship.
Oh, okay.
So let's continue with that. So Aloy wants to find out who her mother is. They say they don't know, but they found her in front of this door. She goes up to the door and she's a 99 point whatever or 98 point whatever match to Elizabeth Sobek.
Elizabeth.
So it's Elizabeth without an H at the end?
Just a bit.
Just a bit. And she goes to find out what happened with the other dude she saw with the Bluetooth headset.
Okay.
Whose name is Erden? I'm going to go with Erden.
Like Odin?
Like it's Erden.
Okay. Erden.
Or Urden.
And what does Erden want?
Nothing. His family's been abducted and he was forced to betray you and he causes this whole, like...
Right.
Murder of all these tribes people. Mm-hmm. And he wants you to, like... Well, he doesn't even want you... He doesn't ask you to, but Aloy, who's such a good trash person...
That's right.
She says, I'm going to help you get your family back. They're already dead.
Okay.
You don't get to save them. But he wants revenge. So he wants revenge against the group that worships Hades.
Oh, wow, Hades? That worships Hades?
They worship Hades. What is Hades, you might ask?
Yeah, especially because you're using like All-Mother and Erdon and stuff. Sounds more like Norse mythology.
Well, Hades is a demon.
Okay.
The demon that causes the corruption in the machines.
Okay.
We'll come back to Hades.
Okay.
So
this is the first time we're hearing about Hades.
It is the first time. The amount of just exposition that you get going to these ruins, mm-hmm. and what that exposition is.
Okay.
Magnificent. All right.
Okay.
So you find out that they worship Hades, and then this guy starts talking to you in your headset.
All right.
And if you have the subtitles on, which I do while I'm gaming, because I like to read what they're saying as well. Because sometimes, with stuff going on the screen, if you're in the middle of a firefight,
you're not listening.
You might not hear it all.
Right.
Mysterious Voice.
Right.
That's his name for now.
Okay.
Mysterious Voice tells you that you need to go to this one ruin and find out, what happened there. Because that's the source of Hades, he says.
Okay.
So you go to the ruin, and then you find out that the ruin it used to be Feral Automation. And Feral Automation, what they did, you learn, is that they created all these robots. And they gave them the ability to generate fuel from biomass.
Okay.
And they gave them the ability to harvest and do things like that.
Okay.
And they also, at one point, they got infected with a virus there.
Gotcha.
Which caused them to go feral and angry and just kill people. And not even just, feral. They had it out for people, and they wanted that biomass fuel.
Okay.
So it was going to take over the entire population of robots in, I think it's 6 weeks. 6 or 12 weeks.
Okay.
So this guy, Farrell, goes to another scientist, and he says to her, I need you to come up with a solution for this, Elizabeth Sobek.
Oh.
And this year is 2057, I think this happened, or 2064, something like that. It's in the future.
The year that happened.
The year that happened. And you see holograms of it being reenacted.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody just kept everything on holograms.
Yes.
like logs and videos of it.
Gotcha.
And he says, "I need you to take care of this." And she says, "Well, I'm not going to be able to take care of this. There's only one solution that I can come up with.
Uh-oh.
We need Operation Zero Dawn."
Oh.
And what Operation Zero Dawn is, Tim, in case you're wondering.
Not Horizon.
Not Horizon. Operation Zero Dawn is we are going to take the smartest people.
Okay.
And we're going to put them in vaults.
Okay.
And we're going to gather all the information from them and load it onto these computers so that like we have it, in case anything bad happens. And while we're doing that, we're going to take all the other people.
Okay.
And we're going to say to them, hey, grab a railgun and fight. And we already know, as people that work for Feral Automation, as smart people,
okay,
that it's not going to work out well for the people that have the railguns. So, essentially,
wow,
Elizabeth Sobek sends most of the population to its death.
Wow.
And keeps a bunch of people, and the DNA for a bunch of people that are smart. We'll come back to that.
Wow.
Mysterious voice man reveals himself as Silence.
Okay.
That's his name. Silence.
Oh.
Just for one point in the game, where he can stop talking to you because he talks to you through your focus, and he just sometimes chooses not to answer. And do you know what Aloy says at that point when he doesn't respond to you?
You're so silent.
At least you're living up to your name.
Yeah. I always thought she was gonna go with a pun. You're so silent right now,
bro. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
That would have been amazing if she was like, "You're so silent right now." Ha 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 ha.
So Sobek, within this vault, takes all these smart people. Right? They load all the information on. She calls this program Gaia.
Oh, okay.
And she gives it 8 departments.
Oh, I was going to say she has 5 magic rings, and together they form Captain Planet.
It should be.
That'd be amazing.
It has 8 departments within Gaia.
Okay.
Apollo for intelligence.
Okay.
See where this is going?
Oh, I see where it's going.
Okay. So anyway.
So Shazam, and Captain Marvel.
Yep. No, Hades is one of them. And I have no idea why. Look, listen. You have the smartest people on the planet.
Right.
You create an AI that's going to help preserve life after you're dead.
Okay, makes sense.
Because you're in this vault. And recreate life. Because she's going to use this Gaia to, after things start to calm down, in between, she's gonna have AI robots, raising children, clones of these people, and then raising more children from them.
Okay.
And living in those vaults.
Okay. All right.
And she decides that Hades is a good idea? Like, to have, like, a program that's in charge of whatever Hades would be in charge of. Because Apollo is in charge of training the children in schools. I don't know why Hades even is a thing. Because...
Why?
Why, right?
Like, why?
Why does Hades have to be the one that goes wrong?
Well, what was Hades supposed to do?
Hades was supposed to... I don't know. They don't say. They literally don't say.
Like, defend the stuff?
Maybe...
Or try to figure out...
But he's not Ares. He's not the war.
Right. Hades is in charge of the underworld.
But there's no underworld. Gaia's in charge of the vaults they're living in. Bro, I don't know.
That makes no sense. I would think Hades... unless they were like Hades take care of the dead robots? I have no idea. That makes no sense to me. That really makes no sense to me.
Anyway.
Okay.
So in the vaults where the children are versus in the vaults where the people are.
Right.
Like the scientists.
Mm-hmm.
They're separate. It's very important that they're separate.
Okay.
Farrell is with Elizabeth Sobek.
Okay.
And he says, you know what, guys? We have a leak somewhere. We need somebody to be willing to go outside and put on this gear and go outside and fix this leak before we all die in here.
Right.
And Elizabeth Sobek says, I'll do that, and puts on this armor.
Okay.
And she goes out, and she can't come back. So she's gone. She sacrifices herself to save them.
Okay.
For whatever reason, Farrell then says, you know what? Look where all of this intelligence got us. All of this humanity, everything we've learned, all of our culture, all of this information has caused us to be here.
Okay.
It caused our downfall. So I'm going to erase all that and kill everybody. And he does that.
Kills all the people in the vault?
He kills all the people in that vault.
Okay.
Leaving the vault with the children and Gaia.
Okay.
Okay? So everybody there is dead, and Elizabeth has gone out.
Does he kill himself?
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, okay.
It's done.
Oh, wow.
So Elizabeth has gone out to, I guess, her old ranch and dies. Like she's dead.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in the children's vault, the kids are getting more and more angsty, and like it's 300 and something years later. They are running out of food, and the AI robots, the stewards, they call them, essentially just say, all right, no food. You guys got to go.
Okay.
But the kids respond with, it's not safe out there. And they say, yeah, you should be fine. And they send the kids out, and they're like, can we come back? No. Okay, so they can't go back. For whatever reason. I still don't understand that.
All right, that makes no sense to me.
So they go out.
Okay.
And they are the people that are now living 600 and something years later.
Right, so it's the tribes that form after that. So they may have, well, they did Lord of the Flies, and whoever decided to go which way, that's how that happened.
Correct.
Okay.
So now you have 934 years after, or 964, whatever it is.
Right.
Is when the game starts, after all this.
Okay.
Meanwhile, let's go back to, if it was 964, 945 years after that happened.
Okay.
Because 19 years before this game takes place, something goes wrong in one of the terminals outside of the vault they're in. Because there's still like remote terminals that can access Gaia and all.
Oh, okay.
And Hades says, man, I don't like any of this nonsense. I'm taking off as an AI.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go start taking over, the bodies of robot things that are making the planet green again.
Right.
Peace.
Okay.
And he does, and he becomes the demon.
Okay.
So he's able to control these other beings with the help of a guy he's taking information from this thing, but he's getting the people there using Hades. Mm-hmm. He's rebuilding focuses so Hades can take control and communicate with the people.
Oh, okay.
And there's this whole cult of Hades, or whatever they call it, the cult of what?
Okay.
That is taken over because of this guy's help.
Gotcha.
And then Hades decides, I don't need this guy anymore.
Okay.
I'm done with him. Go kill him. The guy barely escapes.
Okay.
And he is Silence.
Gotcha.
Okay? So he was a real bad guy. But now he's mad at Hades. So now he's a good guy, kind of.
Okay.
You with me so far?
I'm with you so far.
Gaia says, oh man, Hades took off. He put a virus in our program.
Oh.
I better hurry and set up a clone of Elizabeth Sobek along with the programming to send her out onto the doorstep of this place without anybody seeing. Hopefully they'll find her. Although I guess she's monitoring at least a little bit of what's going on outside. Hopefully they'll find her and she'll be okay. And then she makes a video with this virus taking over all of her, saying, Elizabeth, when you come back, this is what's happened. Hades is taking over. We need to stop him and, make sure everybody survives and blah, 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 whatever, because this is what led to the downfall.
Okay.
So, it's so...
Wow.
So anyway, you take off, you do the thing, where eventually you end up in there. She tells you that, and magic's her way to make this video. While I guess she's also setting up the program to have you cloned, and that's not affected by this virus.
Okay.
And that 9 months of your incubation is not affected by this virus.
Okay.
Whatever. It's fine. Sure. It's fine. The AI steward bots are fine. You know, whatever.
Just do that.
So, and she makes that video, and she said, but the alpha database is corrupted, so you might not even make it in here. And then she dies. So Gaia is now dead.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
End of the game. You fight the bad guy that killed Rost, who was your father.
Oh, okay.
Kind of, not really.
Right.
Right? You kill him, and then you go and you defeat Hades in his robot mech form. And he dies, and you kill him by spearing his eye with, like, your spear that Silence gave you.
Okay.
That's good at, like, it takes out corruption, it's electrical damage, whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then he dies, and the end of the game, Aloy goes on a journey after the credits because she's like revered. I'm sorry. After she goes into the vault, this is very important to the rest of the game.
Right.
After she goes into the vault, in front of the matriarchs,
right,
everybody starts worshiping her as though she's a god, and she's like, "No, I'm not a god. I'm just a person like you. We need to stop this Hades thing."
Right.
And they all come together for like this big epic battle. And the battle at the end is kind of cool. Like,
oh, okay. All right. Better be.
Yeah, well, yeah. They, so now she's not trash person anymore. Now she's the goddess. And
okay. Makes
everybody hits on you now.
Okay.
Which I showed you the one video.
Yes.
It's really weird and uncomfortable.
Gotcha.
And they all, anyway, even in the DLC.
Okay.
But you go out, you take out Hades. There are 2 scenes after the credits.
Okay.
One might be before and one might be after, to be honest. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Aloy goes out to Sobek Ranch.
Gotcha. Figured that was going to happen.
And she finds the armor that the lady was wearing.
Right.
Elizabeth Sobek.
Gotcha.
And she scans it with her little focus headset.
Right. Which
makes, I guess, the visor invisible. And it just looks like her still. 964 years of decomposition, and she looks exactly like she would if she was standing here today. Okay. I was so mad at that. I was so mad at that. This woman has been dead forever. Okay. Stop it. Anyway, that's one of the 2 endings. The other stinger...
And does she say something to you?
No, she's dead.
Oh, it just shows...
She's dead.
Right.
It just, for some reason, she can look just fine.
Okay. That's silly.
It's so frustrating.
Alright, so what's the next part?
The other stinger is Hades... Mm-hmm. His corpse is there, and then something happens where, like, a red and black...
Wait, his corpse?
Like, well, he's in this robot.
Oh, okay, yeah, the robot.
His red and black, like, the corruption... Mm-hmm. Floats up to the sky, this little bit of it, and like takes off, like just shoots out, almost like the black smoke in Lost.
Oh, okay.
It's a great example of this, which is probably where they got the look of it. And it just shoots out and right over to a mountain, and ends in a lantern.
A lantern?
Like it's like captured within a lantern, held by Silence, who says, effectively that they have a lot more. He has a lot more to learn because Hades was teaching him.
Okay.
And then remember, knowledge gets rewarded, and then behind him or in front of him, on like underneath the hill he's standing on, is a giant. I forget what they're called, but they're a giant Robobot. And those things created the little, like they're the ones that spawned the smaller Robobots.
Okay, that makes sense.
So essentially, there's Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Silence is bad again, even though Hades tried to kill him?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, I thought he was like, oh, I'm gonna silence you, sucker.
No. He's not even involved in the last fight.
Okay. So, I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. So, the sequel is going to be...
I would imagine fighting Silence and Hades again.
Right. And whatever monsters that they make.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is like a weird thing. It's almost like Greek myths and also Norse myth and like a bunch.
Well, the Norse makes sense because I think it's a Swedish dev team.
Right. And then the way they say the All-Mother and like that kind of stuff. I mean, that could come from like Freya and like all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
But the Gaia is...
Gaia? I forget. I think Gaia actually is a Greek.
Yeah, I think that's... Well, I always thought it was... I always think Wicca, but obviously it was before that.
Yeah.
Pagan mythology. But apparently
it could be. I mean, it could be part of that too.
Apparently Gaia was one of the, I guess, the Titans.
I think so. I think Gaia was a Titan.
And then, yeah. But all of the other stuff, like the Apollo and the Hades, is Greek.
Yeah.
Bro. If you are one of the smartest people on the planet...
Right.
Would you ever name an aspect of your AI that's going to be in charge of raising the future of humanity Hades?
No. It's like a lot of the stuff I'm just like... I get why maybe you want to call it like a Greek myth name or something like that, but you could, like Zeus or Artemis. I would have gone with Artemis. That would have made more sense to me, you know?
It's really annoying because for half the game, it's just called the Demon.
Yeah.
So it didn't need to be named Hades.
Right. It could have just been named anything. I mean, it could have been named Walter or whatever.
Or it could have named itself Hades.
Right.
But it wouldn't think it's bad. It would think it's cleansing the earth of these horrible things that caused all this death and destruction.
Right, exactly.
But I don't even know its motivations because it doesn't talk.
Oh, it doesn't have any? Like, it
doesn't talk.
It has no... That's so weird. Yeah. So, this is definitely something we're going to have to make a video about. I really kind of... Because you've spent some time on this. I think it's time, even though you've given kind of a description, like, last couple weeks, this is definitely going to be, like, a YouTube video that needs to be... You know, just in case somebody ever thinks, hey, you know what? I want to beat this game. I never beat it the first time. I wonder what the story actually is. To really show people what happened in this game.
9.3 out of 10 on IGN.
Don't get it.
It was nominated for Game of the Year in the same year as Nier Automata, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It makes me mad.
It's frustrating.
Shouldn't, but it does.
No, I totally understand. And you really put some time in this.
I put a lot of time in it.
And you got that trophy.
I did, 100%.
Okay. But we're going to wrap it up here. We're definitely going to make a video about this. We have to make a video, you know, as a warning for future generations who want to play Horizon Zero Dawn Part 2, whatever that... Are they still... Is it in development?
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely going to happen.
Okay.
It sold well because it reviewed well.
Right.
Resident Evil 7.
Right.
Breath of the Wild. Cuphead. Nier Automata. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, wow. That's surprising.
And somebody said, Horizon Zero Dawn's Game of the Year.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Because I've watched gameplay videos on it, and I've seen the stuff. I'm just like, this doesn't seem that great.
It looks pretty.
Yeah. Not saying it doesn't look good, but...
It's like the year after The Witcher 2, I think.
Oh, really? Wow. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I'll just wait for the Netflix series.
I hope not.
Who knows?
They can't.
Who knows?
You know what it is? It's like an episode of The Twilight Zone where everybody's like, look at this is amazing. And you can't understand it. And it's so frustrating. This is the whole reason I did it. Well, we talked about it.
Yes.
The whole reason I did it was because everybody said that this game was great, but nobody finished it. Nobody committed to it. Like, nobody stuck with it that long.
I'm sure people have beaten it.
Yeah. But
I'm wondering,
like 30% of the people that played the game had that final trophy for beating the game. Not even like the platinum. I'm like within 10%.
Okay. Well, so that also begs the question is, like, maybe they played the first part, thought, oh, this is good, but maybe they just didn't finish all this stuff.
Because it's boring and awful? Yeah.
Maybe.
But don't say it's good.
But let's make a video about it. Let's really put it out there. Let's wrap it up here. Just as always, you can find me on the Instagrams. I'm at Tim Martinek. You can find us on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and the platform of your choice. You can find Bob at...
I'm at Bob J. Martin, Marton, on Twitter. And Instagram, on Instagram. And I'm at Martin_Bob on Twitter. Right. I did
it. You did. And as always, you can hashtag it Precarious Pixels if you have some Horizon Zero Dawn fan art that you want to expose us to. We'd love to see it. Because I just don't get it.
I certainly don't get it. And I played the whole darn thing.
Yeah. So we'll do a little video talking about Bob's adventures in Horizon Zero Dawn Land. And how
100%.
Yep. That is right. So we'll see you next week, guys. Stay cool out there.
Have a good one.
Yeah. What do they say in Horizon Zero Dawn?
I don't know. I'm sorry. You look fresh struck from the forge. That's a compliment.
Because you're made out of alloy. I love it. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. To do a little redesigning with us. You can find Bob at Martin, MARTON_BOB, on Twitter. And you can find me on Instagram at Tim Martinek, all one word, TIMMARTINEC. And you can join in us, have some fun, do your redesigns for this week's redesign. It's a lot of fun for us to do this, but we like to see fresh ideas and fresh artists like doing what they do as well. You can also hashtag it Precarious Pixels and we'll find it as well.